for entrepreneurship activity, for startup activity. And right from the beginning, the vision of our dynamic president, sir, Engineer Prakash Bhai Patel, 2 years back in university we had established a specific center for research and innovation. We have a functioning officer sitting there, and in big way we are moving the same direction. At the end of today's event, we are going to sign a MOU with East Speed Nanotechnology Company. They will help us in establishing a research center in nanotechnology. At the same time, recently we are recognized and we have received a recognition from Ministry for establishing an incubation center. Once we have an incubation center, then we have to give birth, we have to nurture the startup, and probably very first startup which we would be nurturing at our institution campus probably would be helped by Dr. Sandeep Patil. So let us appreciate this good play. So I will not take much more time. Academics, definitely we are doing wonderfully well, but at the same time, we have revised our curriculum. We are giving much weightage to the entrepreneurship activity. Laboratories also at the university level. We have started NSDC program. All the laboratories will be tuning to the universities for requirement that in the future. And many more such events would be planned, and faculty have a blend of experienced faculty we have young faculty we have. Management is supporting all the startup and innovation activity. We have a seed money policy, we have research promotion policy. So whatever support required internally, whatever support required externally, and whatever support available from ministry, available from AICTE or regulatory body, with full heart and with full energy, we are moving these programs. So I hope at the end of this today's session, certain ideas will be culminated in your minds, and some seeds will be planted. And next it is up to us, university management, university team, university leadership, how to nurture the ideas which is coming from young faculty, senior faculty, your linkage with industry. Already 1 month back we have started in big way. Each and every faculty sitting here, we have associated with industry. One faculty, one industry is a novel program we have started at university, and definitely in next 2-3 years time frame it will give a good result. So my good wishes for this event, and we must thank also the AICTE for this kind initiative, PM office, and also the Ministry of Education, and definitely Dr. Sandeep Patil, who will be sharing his thought process, and certain guidance will be given how we can initiate research and innovation activity in a big way at the university level. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Without wasting so much time, I would like to request Dr. Sandeep Patil, sir, to give his knowledge of his wide experience and throw some lights on the program, that what is the vision of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Thank you, sir. Please.
गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन। खाना खाने के बाद अगर कोई लेक्चर में बैठता है तो अपने आप में एक बड़ा चैलेंज होता है। चैलेंज स्पीकर के लिए भी होता है कि वो ऑडियंस को नींद ना आने दे, और उसके लिए भी एक चैलेंज होता है कि बीच बीच में वो भी थोड़ा सा आराम करे। लेकिन सी आई मीन लाइक दिस इज हाउ इट इज। सो इट इज ऑलवेज प्रेफर्ड टू हैव द लेक्चर बिफोर लंच। So anyway, again good afternoon. आपको बोलना पड़ेगा थोड़ा, तभी आपकी नींद आएगी। Good afternoon. Yeah, I thank you, Professor Udani, for the kind introduction, and Professor, thanks a lot. I thank you for the invitation, and thanks to thanks to Minister of Education and PMO for appointing me to give a talk. This talk is relevant to Amrit Kaal Vimarsh. विमर्श का मतलब तो आपको तो पता ही होगा, what is it? विमर्श मतलब हाँ, communication consultation, right? So Viksit Bharat at 2047, what is it? Amrit Kaal जो चल रहा है हमारा अभी, this is Amrit Kaal, right? And by 2047 we will be completing 100 years of independence. So in between these 25 years, in between this, the up to 2047, what we should do and what is our goal and what is our vision. So this talk is relevant to the technology that is called nanotechnology. And in this nanotechnology, we will be talking about the innovation that I am doing it and how this innovation they are helping in our daily lives. But before that, I just want to know all these members who are sitting here, the audience must be faculties from the different disciplines and the students. I am sure यहाँ पे प्रोफेसर से ज़्यादा दिख रहे हैं, स्टूडेंट्स कम दिख रहे हैं, if I'm not wrong, right? So this happens in these generations mostly. So anyway, I hope whatever I will be delivering over here, that will be well taken in the first, in your education. So before I proceed, I would like to thank SPU, Sri Prakash Bhai Patel, President SPU, then Professor PM Modani, Provost, SPU, and Dr. HN Shah, Director, as well as Modi ji, Dr. Modi, for this invitation. So why I said this Modi ji, because I have been appointed by Modi ji. So thanks a lot for this, and this technology that I'm going to talk here is basically nanofiber technology and commercial opportunities, the future startups. Today, when this government came into the picture, there is one thing which is well taken by people, and that is a startup. Before that, it was like, when I started, that was the time in 2010, that time no stand-up India, standing India, and startup India. But today we have everything. Today everything is on click, and that time there was on paper. This is the difference. So you can see everything is digitalized. If you want to start a business, it will be done in a day. But when I started in 2010, it was a long journey to take up. Like, for starting a company, you have to spend 2 months just to get the paper signed and register the company. But today it is not. It is, everything will be done immediately. So we will be talking about the future startups, and that are related to nanotechnology. But this talk is not only related to that. Most of us who are sitting in this hall, they are parents, going to be parents, going to be married, okay, and students, and families, fathers, grandfathers, okay. जैसे जैसे टाइम जाएगा हमारे रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी चेंज होती जाएंगी. कभी हम स्टूडेंट्स थे तो कभी पापा बनेंगे, कभी मदर बनेंगे, कभी फादर बनेंगे, उसके बाद ग्रैंडफादर बनेंगे. तो बट व्हाट वन थिंग दैट वी मिस ऑलवेज, and that we will talking in first stage of this talk. Then I'll share my journey. I'm standing here, it is not that I have done the wonders, but the struggles that I have gone through and standing in front of you, that I will share in little bit. इसको इसी से करना है. Okay. So like okay, so what you want to become, I was just mentioning, you will be a student, then you will be a father, mother, and then you will be like, and the family members as on. But what you want to become, this is a very important question. If there are students, and they please do remember, the first thing that we ask our kids, what you want to become? आप क्या पूछते हो सबसे पहले? You want to be an engineer, a doctor, IAS officer, government servant, okay? But one thing that we always miss, you should become an entrepreneur, right? Now this is the time in this Amrit Kaal that we should ask our kids that you should become a businessman, businesswoman, and entrepreneur. So these pictures over here, they are basically my daughters. So I just took a photograph and displaying here that I always teach my kids that okay, I become an engineer and become an entrepreneur as well as a businessman, and series of startups and the companies I started. So you should do much better than me, much bigger than me. This is what we should taught we should teach our kids that like मैं तो आप सब लोगों ने 3 Idiot मूवी तो देखा ही होगा and there are very famous dialogues over there कि जब बच्चा पैदा नहीं होता उससे पहले बोल दिया जाता है कि ये इंजीनियर बनेगा या डॉक्टर बनेगा. So we have to change that perception and come up with new things that our kids should learn. So that is what I was mentioning, doctor, engineer, teachers and professors. So entrepreneur is the one that we should ask them that what you want to become. So on the path of entrepreneurship journey, what you want to be and what is that important, that is mostly fashion driven start, then market validation, adaptive strategy, customer centric approach, resilience and the learning. The last point that I'm mentioning here, the resilience and the learning, that is very important, and that is what is the basically makes you a successful entrepreneur in your life. So more than that, let me share you my story here. Let me share you my story here. And what is it? So I was mentioning, so I'm standing in front of you and appointed by the PMO that it is not that easy task that I could able to reach at this stage. It is much harder journey than expected. The photograph that you could able to see over here. So this is my village. ये अभी थोड़े दिन पहले का ही फोटो, ऐसा नहीं कि ये फोटो बहुत पुराना है, लेकिन ये फोटो बहुत पुराना है. So I am standing with my younger brother. This is the village where I took these photographs from left and right. That's it. जितने गांव है, जितने घर दिख रहे हैं उतने ही हैं, उससे ज्यादा नहीं है. So you can see the village population and there is a little bit of it. So village population is around 1500. Can you imagine in this 1500 population who are the major population? Basically the major population is basically the tribals, and the tribals are basically they live in a way, everyone, कि कैसे basically every day they earn and spend, that's it. So 25% population is ours means farmers. So our daily routine is farmer. So I started my journey in the village, which this is, I'm still visiting village. अभी कल ही मैं परसों ही घर से आया हूँ. तो बहुत सारे लोग छुट्टियां मनाली जाते हैं या किसी हिल स्टेशन पे जाते हैं, लेकिन मैं छुट्टियां मनाने घर पे जाता हूँ ताकि मैं कुछ टाइम मेरे फार्म में स्पेंड करूँ और वहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट जो भी हम कर सकते हैं वो करता हूँ. अभी भी मेरी फैमिली वही विलेज में रहती है, छोटा भाई और फादर, दे आर स्टेइंग इन द सेम विलेज. So this is, rooted like how one can innovate the things that can change the perception of life, and that is what we are basically working on it. So 25% population are farmers, and what we do every day is the farming. That is the way which we basically do. So this is the primary education. I must say here on this platform, by accident I am an engineer, not by profession. Okay, and how it is? मेरे माता पिता को बहुत लगता था कि ये स्कूल टीचर बने. क्यों? क्योंकि उनको स्कूल टीचर ही उस टाइम बहुत अच्छे लगते थे, क्योंकि उनका हस्बैंड भी स्कूल टीचर, वाइफ भी स्कूल टीचर, दोनों स्कूल टीचर. तो सुबह जाना है 7:30 बजे और 11 बजे स्कूल खत्म, सब कुछ, फिर आराम की लाइफ है. And that time school teacher was having a very high respect in the society. Today also. So they wanted me to be a school teacher, but unfortunately I couldn't get the admission in the diploma of education. So I decided to get the admission in engineering. This is how that is what I'm saying, that by accident I am the engineer to be here. So I started school, though I was not, in my village there was no school. So I started my schooling second standard and onward, that is second standard में 6 महीने बाद. Started in my mama's uncle's home, and from there I could able to do my schooling, then 10th, then 12th, and then masters, and then PhD I completed from IIT Kanpur. So I started my company during the PhD itself. So the research, the innovation that I have done during my research and the PhD program, one day I was just having a discussion with my Professor Ashutosh Sharma, who was the Secretary DST, is retired now from that position. I was having just the casual discussion. He asked me, what you want to do next? कि आप PhD करने के बाद क्या करेंगे? So he was expecting the same answer that every PhD is to give. And what was that? कि PhD हो गया अभी चलो postdoc करने चलते हैं कहीं और. So I told him and I replied to that question कि मुझे खुद की कंपनी स्टार्ट करनी है. तो देखिए आप यहाँ पे गुरु कैसे आपका लाइफ को चेंज करते हैं. The moment मैंने बोला कि मुझे I want to start my own startup in 2010, he immediately replied to that particular answer and बोले कि आप कंपनी तुम अभी से स्टार्ट करो, तुम्हारी पीएचडी होती रहेगी और उसको टाइम पे खत्म करने की जिम्मेदारी मेरी है. So see, I mean like I could have started company maybe after PhD, और अगर PhD के बाद स्टार्ट करता तो शायद नहीं कर पाता, because I got married in masters itself. So जब आप छोटे गांव में रहते हैं तो माँ बाप पहले आपका एक काम पहले सबसे पहले करना चाहते हैं. मैंने कुछ बोला ही नहीं. सबसे पहले ये काम करना चाहते हैं वो है शादी. शादी करो, बाकी सब कुछ जो भी करना है बाद में करो. So when I was completing my master's second year, first I got married and I got admission in PhD along with one more degree. So that was the little challenging for me. एक side और when I started company, I became a father already for one kid, and the kid that I was showing over there, she is the elder daughter. So it was very difficult for me to take a single decision that should I start or should not start, because एक साइड आपकी वाइफ भी है, दूसरे साइड में आपकी बेटी भी है, तीसरे साइड में आपका पीएचडी भी कंप्लीट करना है, और ऊपर से जो पीएचडी के गाइड होते हैं आप तो जान सकते हो जो पीएचडी कर रहे हो, उनका प्रेशर अलग से होता है, और उसके बाद आपके घर वाले जो आपसे एक्सपेक्टेशन करते हैं वो अलग होता है. जब हम पीएचडी, मैं छोटा सा एक उदाहरण यहाँ पे शेयर करूंगा. जब हम पीएचडी करने आ रहे थे तो माय मॉम एंड डैड नेवर वेंट टू द स्कूल. पिताजी कभी गए नहीं है, माताजी she expired, she passed away, so she was only did his schooling in the up to the 4th. तो एक दिन ऐसे ही घर पे लेटर आया कि आपका सिलेक्शन आईआईटी कानपुर में हुआ है. So one school teacher came to my home. इसको क्या जरूरत है, आईटीआई तो यहाँ बहुत है, यूपी में जाके आईटीआई करना है इसको. So this was the level of this thing. So this is how I grown up in a society, in a family where they अभी उनको पता चलता है कि मैंने PhD किया. Otherwise I never used to tell them that I'm getting a doctorate degree or I'm doing a PhD from the IIT. हम उनको IIT बोलते थे, वो IITI बनाते थे. So I never used to tell them कि it is basically IIT. So this is how. Then a journey started from here because of the one decision and one guru that he changed my life. Professor Ashutosh Sharma, he gave me authority to start the company immediately, and he gave the money also to start the company. So this is the company that we have established here in IIT Kanpur, just adjacent to the Kanpur campus. This company has the DSI recognition as well as NABL accreditation. We do research, lot of research in nanofiber technology. We have one unit in Pune and one unit is in Dhule. So okay, so nanofiber technology that we started and invented. So I must tell you one thing over here. When I was doing my PhD, I invented the machine called nanofiber spinning technology. It was not that invented, but I have modified the process. Process is something where it can be pricely affordable as well as innovative. One can do nanofiber manufacturing in one step. So the machine I have developed in 2008. I started company in 2010. In between these 2 years, I could able to sense not only me, I'm doing a research and publishing the papers and the patents, but also the people who are along with my colleagues, more than 4 or 5 PhD students, more than 7, 8 masters, they could able to complete their masters and the PhDs and publishing a good papers. So I could able to sense over there, not only that this is requirement for this lab only, but this also has the requirement globally. So I could able to do a market search, and based on that market search, we have started this invention and the company. So what is the nanofiber technology? Can I just ask one question? How many of you from technical background, like engineering and okay, only few people? Okay, so that's okay. So nanotech, I see. Don't take otherwise for other people, because I have to explain why I had this question. कि मुझे इसको उसी तरीके से बताना है जिस तरीके से नॉन टेक्निकल को समझ में आए. अदरवाइज बाकी आप सोचेंगे कि इनको बस टेक्निकल को ही पढ़ाना है, बताना है, बाकियों को छोड़ना है. ऐसा नहीं है. So take an example here. This is a human hair, the human hair. जिनके है उन्हीं का, I mean, understand? So this is the human hair, and this is basically a nanofibers. So human hair is sitting on top of the nanofibers. You can see the change in the scale. So one human hair is basically covering a half of the picture space compared to the nanofibers. So underneath of that there are billions of nanofibers. So you can see the micro scale to nanoscale. From one object, if you can reduce the size of that object, then basically you can change the size of nanofiber, and from one object you can create the multiple objects. Okay, this is what basically the picture signifies that. So in a very simple way to explain this nanotechnology, that we are basically creating a very finest particles from the bigger object, or finest molecules, not molecules, finest object, finest particles, finest fibers, whatever you can think of from the bigger object. So if you consider this is a micron scale, or if it is a millimeter case or the meter case. So if I count in terms of numbers, so from millimeter to nanometer is minus 9 10 raised to minus 9 of this size. So you can reduce from meter to nanometer basically from the minus 9 times that object which is you are going to be able to get, that is basically this. Then again we talked about, so this is called the 1000 nanometer. Then you can lower it down again, lower it down 100 nanometer, 50 nanometer, like that. So this is, but what you can achieve out of it. So I'll give you the one example. I'm not sure that it is mentioned in my presentation, but I'll just explain you in the later stage. The moment you reduce the surface size, समझ लीजिए कि इसके अंदर के जो sizes है, areas है, that is not exposed. The moment you reduce the size, it is fine. Then all the sizes, all the size or sides of this object is contact to the others. That is where you can able to enhance the surface area, enhance the porosity, enhance the productivity, enhance the activity of this material in a different way. Considering catalysis, considering filtration, anything that you can think of. So how you can synthesis this? So there are multiple ways: thermal induced phase separation, self-assembly, temperature synthesis, drawing, centrifugal spinning. But all these methods, they have merits. They are long time. I mean, they are taking basically a long time to create the nanofibers. But here, this machine that we created, so idea was to create a small machine, sell the machine. Whatever you will earn from the machine, it reinvest and create this large scale manufacturing. That is what we have done. So here basically you can see the nanofiber spinning using gun electrospinning. How it is going to work? You have a positive voltage which is more than 50 kV. You have negative. One side is positive electrode, one side is negative electrode. You apply the high voltage on the polymer melt. The polymer melt will get charged from this side and it will form the fibers. How the fibers are getting formed? Just because of there is a very high electric forces, positive electric forces. They are basically stretching out the polymeric material and creating this kind of cone that is basically will give you this size of nanofibers. So these are the nanofibers with a different geometrical application, different geometrical sizes and different types: solid, hollow, porous, and bits with the fibers. So where now main question is where you can use this? You can use these nanofibers basically environment, electronic, energy, defense, health, automotive, buildings and consumers. So nanofiber based product that we have developed. So this invention we are working on since 2010, and we have done a lot of research in between, and we have done a lot of research during the COVID time also. You must have heard that we have in IIT Kanpur, DST and ESP Nanotech have come up with a new filtration technology that is has the capability to deactivate the virus. बहुत बार हम बोलते हैं कि antiviral है, antibacterial है. So now we have to not only antiviral and antibacterial, but we should have virus and bacteria deactivation. They should be killed at the immediately when they are getting interact with the filtration. So this is what basically we have done, and decorated this nanofiber with some kind of particular particles to anchor this viruses. So this is basically the imaginary images that one can able to separate out a lot of impurities and everything. So here you can see 0.1 to 0.3 micron particle, fungal pores, ultrafine soot particle, bacteria, pollen, oil, common dust and everything. So we have based on this, we have developed this Swasa mask. You must have heard this Swasa mask during the COVID time. Though it was developed in 2017 and 18, but we started production. During the COVID, हमने जो facility create की थी वो अहमदाबाद में ही थी. So started from 5,000 masks per day to 25,000 masks per day we started, and then we have also set up one of the facility in IIT Kanpur campus itself during the COVID to meet these disasters and to meet the demand and supply. Here is the Swasa product based on the nanofiber membrane. This is the one that we have been able to use the nanofiber membrane between the masks, and this is basically the one of the masks that is there called N99. This is N95. Then we have developed some of the filtration product for the ventilators, where the ventilator exhaust should be have that kind of protection, so should not have the secondary infection into the ICU. So where we have used, instead of HEPA, we have used this nanofiber based filters to mitigate the secondary infection in ICU. Then positive suction, this positive pressure aprons, or maybe you can say the PPE kit, where you need to have again a very high filter medium over here as a HEPA to filter out the virus and the bacteria. Then again coating on the PPE, where you can use this PPE for a longer time. Otherwise, during the COVID time, we have experienced that our doctors and many people, they could not able to use it for a longer time. So they are not breathable. So we have coated this nanomaterial to make the breathable fabric in order to have for the long-term uses. Then we have created based on nanofiber technology Swasa air purifiers, where nanofiber is used. Then Swasa AC filters convert into AC into air purifiers. Then sensors. And then this is most important, we have coated this nanofiber on the stent. So stent is basically material, the device that is injected in your body. Not injected, it is implanted in your body. So when it is implanted, there is a secondary body fluid formation. So how to avoid that secondary body fluid formation? By coating these nanofibers in order to create some kind of layer between the cells. They can feel that this is basically not a foreign body, so they can grow, and over the time you can have the fresh layer formation on top of that. Then this is hernia mesh. That hernia mesh is basically polypropylene mesh which is implanted in your body. Again, the same problem happens over there, called the body fluid formation. To avoid that, we have coated the nano layer on top of it. Then again, this is the basically smaller stent where you can use it, wound care materials, barrier garments, respirator, tissue engineering, drug delivery materials. Then this is another innovation that we have done that is related to the drug delivery. Drug delivery is basically, nowadays we have two type of materials. That is, one is the suspension, one is the solid. So what is the third form? So this is chewable drugs. Why we need chewable drugs? For the kids, you have to give the suspensions. You cannot give the solid drugs because they will not swallow it. So give this kind of chewable strips. They will be like a chewing gum. They will just chew it and it will be disintegrated into the mouth immediately. Similarly, for the old age people, You cannot give them the solid drugs because swallowing is again a problem. So you can give the strips, and they can basically just chew it and drug will be delivered. So this is the nanofiber. We work with the gym lab. This is basically pharma industry. Then we have, like Professor Udani was mentioning hollow fiber membrane technology, that we have created hollow fibers for the water purification. So nowadays the RO that we are drinking, if the TDS of the water is below than 500 TDS, then really you don't have to use the RO. Okay, it is above than 500, then otherwise you can use our normal filtration technology called hollow fiber technique. What is need to be taken care? That is the biological contaminants, virus, bacteria, any other contaminants, and many things. If there is no heavy metal contamination and water TDS is not more than 500, then one should not use the RO. Okay. So RO is nothing but so we should know what we are drinking. Either we are drinking the clean water or the healthy water. So most of the time your answer will be clean water because healthy water is gone out of the life. Okay. And now we are facing the challenges, arthritis problem, right? Then there are many problems are coming up. So we have to be very careful that what we are drinking. So this is the technology that we have developed, and we basically using ultrafiltration technique. Then this is the machine that we have developed, which can be fitted with a tractor, funded by Engineers India Limited and DST, where you can use nanofiber coating on the soil. So how the soil will be protected? Nowadays soil nutrients has gone down drastically. So ultimately you have to improve the soil nutrients and increase the cultivation rate. So there basically nanofiber can be coated using tractor, and this device will be coated, and you can increase the soil nutrients. So basically this is what we have. And again, nanofibers for the fertilizers, where you can use nanofibers as a coating for the fertilizer, pesticide spray, and you can reuse these PET bottles and make the yarns using the nanofiber technology. So solar cells, one of the application, then batteries, lithium-ion batteries, then protective clothing, where water repellent clothing that we are having demanding, where you can use a nanofiber for the water repellent as a material. So you don't have to wash it again and again. So strength is gone. Then sensors, where you can use as a sensor. Then here is the one of the example for the damping of sound. So I'll just come to the motivation, and we have few more slides क्योंकि बाकी सब लोग भाग के जा रहे हैं, उनको बैठना नहीं है यहाँ पे. So I am also fearing that ऐसा ना हो कि हम आगे जाएंगे बाकी सब चले जाएंगे. So ultimately, what is the motivation? But before motivation, let me tell you one example here. How nanotechnology and what is the effect? I have shown a lot of examples here, right? They are all related to our human life. One example that I want to mention, that is a sunscreen. कल ही हम लोग एक बहुत बड़ा मैच हारे हैं. तो पुराने मैचेस अगर आप देखेंगे तो सबके मुंह जो होते थे ना गोरे होते थे या गोरे दिखाते थे, right? So वो स्क्रीन कॉल्ड एज अ सनस्क्रीन, और आज वो गोरे नहीं दिखते, वो ऐसे दिखते हैं, right? But they are applying the sunscreen. What is the difference between these two?
Transparency level.
Exactly. And because of, so the suspension coil, the cream coil is the sunscreen, but it is made up of nanoparticles, not nanoparticles, TiO2 particles. TiO2 is a very good material or particles that reflects the sun rays. Because sun rays is nothing but the ultraviolet lights. Okay, so ultraviolet light has to reflect, and ultraviolet light has the particular wavelength, and that particular wavelength has to be reflected. So this TiO2 basically earlier used to make the sunscreen, लेकिन पार्टिकल साइज बड़ी होती थी. तो क्या होता था कि जैसे सन के रेज उस पे आते थे तो मिल्की हो जाता था, दिखता था. मतलब some of the rays they are getting diffused into the particle, some of the rays they are basically reflected. तो जो डिफ्यूज होते थे वो मिल्की फॉर्म में आ जाते थे. That's why you could able to see the sunscreen people they used to apply, that is a milky nature, इसलिए सब white दिखते थे. Nowadays sunscreen is same, formulation is same, but the particle size is changed. So one particle could able to reflect the entire sun wavelength, but 100%. So you have the color as a skin. So that is one of the good example which is recently relevant to the very common example where everybody has experience. बहुत सारे लोग आजकल डॉक्टर रिकमेंडेड करते हैं सनस्क्रीन लगाने के लिए. So आजकल लोग लगा लेते हैं, पहले नहीं लगाते थे क्योंकि वो हमेशा व्हाइट दिखता था. So this is one of the reason why sunscreen sale has increased a lot. It is only because of the sun rays are getting damaged, they are basically damaging our skin. पहले भी होता था, आपको पहले इतने लेवल पे नहीं था, आज ज्यादा होता है. लेकिन sunscreen is must today's level, that today's scenario. Yes, of course, ultraviolet light they are damaging our skin, but they are not visible to anyone else. This is the one. So what is the motivation? So motivation is giving back to the society, right? As an engineer, I should develop something that should be given back to the society. So here, if you consider youth percentage in India, that is more than close to 35%. That is our Modi ji used to say always. So 25%, that is 35%. Sorry, 35%. So I have just taken the number from the one of the magazine, that is 28% of Indian population. They are doing well in their chosen field, but at the same time, they should also give back to the society. Entrepreneurship is the best way to contribute to society in terms of economics and individual development. Entrepreneurship depends on the interest and passion. Our youth is talented and passionate. They just recognize their skills and the best of and they make the best of it. So this is so most of the time we have been taught Bharat, Hindustan, India. अब इंडिया का बाद क्या हो गया, फिर से भारत हो गया, राइट? लेकिन एक चीज हमेशा कॉमन रहती है, चाहे भारत हो, चाहे हिंदुस्तान हो, चाहे इंडिया हो, इसके बाद भारत हो जाए. And what is that? हाँ? Change? What change?
You know, I mean, spirit, feelings, mindset.
Yes. So one thing is common. And we always used to say, मैं छोटा सा हिंट देता हूँ, अब भारत छोड़ के अगर आप यूएस चले जाएंगे, इस एरिया के बहुत सारे लोग यूएस पे जाते हैं, मुझे पता है, राइट? कनाडा जाते हैं, यूएस जाते हैं, यूरोप जाते हैं. अगर वहां जाते हैं तो वहां आप बोलते हैं अरे यहाँ पे हाँ और सब कुछ कितना अच्छा है. और इंडिया में तो पोल्यूशन है. But we always say so many problems. What are those problems? Pollution is the problem. Population is the problem. Contamination is the problem. और कितने गिनाए? Traffic is the problem, right? What else? Everything is a problem, right? So what do you see? Huh? Solution, correct? What do you see? Solutions. So I see opportunities. See, having a problem is a different story, but giving the solution for that problem is a different story. If there is a problem, there is opportunity. If there is opportunity, there is a solution. There is a solution, और गुजरातियों को तो business बताने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, right? You find business in every aspect of it. So मुझे लग रहा है कि मैं गलत आदमी को आप लोगों ने बुला लिया है भाषण देने के लिए. But you know, like I don't have to teach anything. Gujarati knows all the business aspects. So there are problems, you can able to find the solution. There is a solution, there is a opportunity and business. So we are the perfect sandwich as an engineer, as an education people, anything, whatever you can think. Why? Because this is what we miss in the world. Why? आज अगर आप कोई भी बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशंस को ले लीजिए, ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को ले लीजिए, या कंपनीज को ले लीजिए, एक आदमी हमेशा कॉमन दिखता है. कौन? सीईओ भारत का ही होता है. Why? We have, the Indians are molded in a such a way that they can live a life in any format, in any condition. And they can make best out of it in the particular things. And because of what they have, the curiosity, creativity, imagination with, ये important है, exceptional skills to innovate new product. So before, how this should be matched, this slide and the previous slide. So because this is little bit of disconnecting slides, but I must tell you they are very relevant. And why? Preconceived notions, जो हम शुरुआत में मैंने शुरुआत की, IAS ऑफिसर बनना है, डॉक्टर बनना है, इंजीनियर बनना है. These are basically called the preconceived notions are the locks on the door to wisdom. जैसे हम यहाँ से पढ़ के निकलेंगे, सबसे पहले हम सोचेंगे कि कहीं जॉब करें या PhD करें, पोस्ट जॉब करें, job, anything that is called the preconceived notion. So we should not consider those preconceived notions and getting a job. These are basically the preconceived notions that are mentioned here. So consider this scenario in a different way. Preconceived notions को हम ऐसे कैसे different scenario को कैसे, how we can do? So think big, think different, be confident. आपको तो यहाँ पे खाली cockroaches नहीं दिख रहे ना? You can be able to see only the mannequins, right? So there are basically 7 mannequins. All the mannequins are looking at you, and one after or opposite to you, whatever you can think of. तो आप क्या बोलेंगे? सभी हमारी तरफ देख रहे हैं, सभी हमारे opposite देख रहे हैं. सभी हमारी तरफ देख रहे हैं, right? और हम भी उनकी तरफ देख रहे हैं. So, but only one mannequin is looking opposite to you. So just read this line. We pay to kill cockroaches and spiders. In Thailand, they pay to eat cockroaches and spiders.
Yes.
We pay, they also pay. They pay for eating, we pay for killing. Correct? अगर हम अपने माइंड को ओपन करेंगे, so what is there? Innovation is there, business is there, market is there, and product is there. Can you just imagine? So let's prepare the what do you call Sahkar society, Sahkari society, cooperative movement. So cooperative movement is basically create some kind of innovation that can trap all the cockroaches. Right? You trap all the cockroaches, what you will do then? You make the pickle out of it. हम भरूच करके एक यहाँ पे खाना खाया मैंने शाम को, भरूच ढाबा में, भरूच रेस्टोरेंट. हाँ कोडिया ऐसा ही कुछ था. मैं सुनना चाहता था कि लेडीज की तरफ से नाम का. So कोडिया, yes, कोडिया हमने खाना खाया. तो वहाँ पे अचार थे. Can you imagine how many achars were there? Pickles. हाँ? 12. 12. एक में 3 थे, एक में 6 थे, एक में 6 थे. तो हमने पूछा ये बताओ ये क्या क्या है? तो उन्होंने बताया ये इसका अचार है, कैरेट का, ये मिर्ची का. So can you imagine Gujarati and everyone, we are so good at making the achars. So one thing also can make very good. The pickle of cockroaches. And send this pickle to Thailand in dollars and get the money. So you have business, everything is there, innovation is there. What is need that? Just a perception to change the mindset. Rather than buying a hit, innovate the technology. This is what we need. So filling the gap is our aim. And what is the gap? Gap, whatever innovation that we do, that they are restricted and only remains in the lab or either everywhere in our education system. That should be translated to the commercial level. That is way that this valley, the gap between these two called the valley of death. And the valley of death, they are basically good ideas getting died here. So our aim is that we should fill the gap by putting the bridge between these two and help the society, innovative way. So this was the time when our Prime Minister was wearing our mask during the Ayodhya Puja and Ayodhya stone line ceremony. So why I am showing this picture? It is not only you and me that putting all our efforts to put our product on the national level or international level, but our Prime Minister is also on front that he could able to showcase our innovative product which are basically developed in the Indian continental. One thing I must tell you that this is the first time in the history that Prime Minister is showing the brand. Otherwise, it is not allowed to show any kind of brand in the publicly, because it is the clear-cut mandate that he cannot do any promotion, not a single word. This is what basically here. So I'll just skip this video. If you want to see, I can show you. Because so with the ending few slides, one of the slide is स्वामी जी ने कहा है, स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने, उठो जागो और तब तक रुको नहीं, उठो जागो और तब तक रुको नहीं जब तक मोबाइल हाथ में ना जाए. So but please be remember, उठो जागो और तब तक रुको नहीं जब तक लक्ष्य प्राप्त ना हो जाए. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot, Pai Sagarvyas, behalf of this Satyam Patel College of Engineering, Satyam Patel University. Thank you, sir, to take our invitation and come here and also give your provoking thoughts to us also. We will do once again and one time in our future. Thank you, sir. I also thank our President Sir, Pro Sir, who also giving us a chance to doing this type of program in our college. I also thank Dr. H.N. Shah sir also, who also giving a chance to this type of program in our college, because that is very necessary. And thank you all of you. I know that without you it is impossible the organizing of every function, not only in this institution but in this university. It is impossible for us to making such kind of program. Before leaving from this lecture hall, I would like to raise you all for our national anthem. Thank you.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे।